Syrian regime says it will guarantee safe passage for opposition fighters if they leave eastern Aleppo. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights says regime forces have advanced further towards the city's rebel-held areas, capturing a hospital and part of an industrial area. The regime and its allies have stepped up their week-long offensive with airstrikes reinforced by ground troops. The Turkish-backed Free Syrian Army says it aims to reach the Daesh-held town of Dabik within 48 hours. It's a strategically and symbolically important town for Daesh. Dabik is in northern Syria, around 40 kilometers northeast of Aleppo and 10 kilometers south of Syria's border with Turkey. It's where Daesh believes its enemies will be defeated and from where it will then launch a campaign into Europe. But now the Free Syrian Army is closing in on capturing the town. The larger goal, though, is the town of Al-Bab, which is Daesh's last remaining stronghold in Aleppo province. Daesh has claimed responsibility for a suicide bomb attack at a main square in the central city of Hama. The terror group says 3 of its members wearing explosive vests targeted a Ba'ath Party building and police station. The number of casualties isn't yet known. Ediz Tiyansan is near the Turkish-Syrian border with more.
There's been a suicide bomb attack in the city of Hama, which is under the control of the Syrian regime. According to Sana news agency, there's been several casualties reported in that incident, and they're saying, citing security officials, they're saying that the assailant was wearing an explosive belt and that he targeted a busy main square called Asi in the city's Al-Hadr district. Now, even though we don't know the motivation, we understand this is an attempt to undermine the regime control over the city, as Hama has been the 4th largest city. It's been relatively quiet, but recently that has changed since the rebel groups have been on the offensive towards the north of the city. Now, separately in northern Syria, we understand that the Free Syrian Army soldiers are still clashing with Daesh militants. This is now the 41st day of an operation since they launched a ground offensive with the backing from the Turkish military. Now, the latest clashes took place in a town called Turkman Bari, which the FSA soldiers seized from Daesh militants, but they were not able to advance because of the many landmines that were planted there earlier by Daesh. We understand that 15 FSA soldiers were killed in that incident and 35 of them were wounded, mostly because of these landmines and also a mortar attack that came from the other side. But in the meantime, there are also airstrikes carried out against Daesh positions where at least 13 Daesh militants have been killed. We understand that the FSA soldiers are now on the offensive to capture the strategically important town of Dabik. And as the soldiers are saying that if it all goes as planned, they might be able to do that in the next 48 hours.